I'm gonna make you write words to this song, and then we'll sing it. We'll sing it next podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'll help you. I'll help you write the words.
I'm not exactly a poet.
That's okay. Neither am I. Welcome, everybody. This is another edition of For the Love of Dog. My name is Steve McLean. I'm co-founder of The Little Red Dog. And as always, we talk about dog behavior for the first half of the show. And I'm here with one of the experts on dog behavior, Mr. Gary Newcomb.
Why, thank you.
How you doing? We're going to talk in a nice.
Can I get you
nice,
to actually
voice.
Put that on a certificate for me?
Yes, I can. From the same company where you got
yes,
your...
for my dog training certificate. 3 weeks and $4,000 and you're a pro.
It seems like we've been keeping you busy this week, yeah? It seems like you've been helping us a lot. Like,
yeah.
We had those feral dogs. We had the 19
like
hound
litter.
haul.
It's got like one litter after another coming in of mother pups, father pups, 2 gigantic wolf dogs pups. No, they're not pups. But they're big, 80 and 100 pounds.
Oh,
Jack, and Shadow.
I was going to say Jack, and Shadow.
Great dogs, though.
Oh, are they?
They are.
That was my next question. And of all the dogs that you've dealt with this last week, is there a dog that's like...
Well, anytime I get to work with...
in the rough?
In the rough. Anytime I get to work with Sage, that's awesome because she is an awesome dog.
I love her, yeah.
Probably the most diamond in the rough would be Shadow.
Oh,
who I was a little worried about. They couldn't get him out of the travel kennel when they transported him down for a day.
I hate when you can't.
And, he's a 100-pound dog. Yeah. So they put the kennel in there and tried to tilt it up and everything. But you can't really dump truck a 100-pound dog out of a kennel when they don't want to come out. So they gave him a little happy pill and let him chill in there for a while.
Oh.
And I came back the next day. He's out. And I walk up to the kennel. He's a little nervous. But I turn around. I back in, sit down. And he instantly comes up and starts licking my ear.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay, this is going to be good. I was a little worried at first, but...
Well, one thing I do appreciate, because our styles couldn't be more different, the one thing I do appreciate about you, that you go the extra mile and you'll create these great videos, showcasing how it's going with, start to finish.
Yeah, I just did a long one with Mama Bear. 25 minutes sitting in her kennel with her.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, that you do very well that I never do is you always will write up a synopsis of how the training went, how you think the people should...
What the people are going to have to come to the table with.
Yes, what they should work on to improve the dog's personality, what the dog is bad at, what the dog is good at. I mean, you give a really nice, full report.
I know you aren't crazy about reading my mile-long emails.
No, you're right. You use way too many words, Gary. I'm not reading this.
My text message that has pages to it.
Yeah, just give me the goddamn skinny. Just give me the net, Gary.
Steve wants it in one sentence. I fixed it, Steve.
Right.
Have a good day.
And how much did it cost us?
Yeah.
That's true.
One thing that happened, though.
Yeah.
Coming from a past podcast when you asked.
Yes.
Gary, have you been bit yet this year?
No, you got bit.
I got
what dog
bit.
bit you? What dog?
It was the little mama dog, not Mama Bear, the mama before, Zilla. Scooping her into the car.
Yeah.
The person handling, I won't say her name, didn't keep the leash tight. And she spun on me and hit me in the arm, juicing out a little.
Oh, you got a little
I'm healing up now.
You got a little puncture.
I'm healing up now.
Nice.
But yeah,
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Yeah,
I jinxed you.
It was literally the first thing I thought about. And I told her, Steve did this to me. I don't even blame the dog. I blame Steve for asking me if I've been bit this year.
Well, it's so funny because not just you have been giving me shit about that, but my son gives me shit about that. Like,
I'm superstitious about that.
How can you be superstitious? Come on.
There's just things you don't say.
You're one of the most intelligent people I know.
Has the internet messed up? Don't ask me that. You know as soon as you ask that, that's going to go down.
Well, there is some science behind what you just said about, not to go on a tangent, but I have no choice now. There is science behind when you do think that way, that you might get jinxed, because now that's in your head. And now your energy and the way that you act and the way that you move, you kind of hesitate.
I absolutely do.
I don't mean you.
I do. No, absolutely. What's done it in the past couple of weeks is these nervous dogs.
Yeah.
Dealing with nervous dogs is like riding a motorcycle. It's not if you're going to crash, it's when you're going to crash.
You know what? I'm going to rip that off. I'm totally going to rip that off.
So
you're right.
So I have been very aware, all these dogs like that dog, I spent 25 minutes in her cage with her. I would probably expedited that into a 15-minute if I didn't know that I'm, riding on thin ice. So I'm going to really take my time with all these dogs. I sat in there at the beginning with that low growl behind me, and I was like, oh, this is how it's going to happen. I'm going to get mauled on video.
Well, it's, I jokingly gave you shit about being superstitious, but you know what's funny? I shouldn't say anything, because when it comes to sports, I'm totally superstitious.
That brings it out a lot.
When I play tennis, and let's say I win a match, and then I go to play another match, I have to wear the same shit that I wore before. I have to. Same socks, everything.
Wow.
And it's super weird. Like, I don't know why I'm being so judgy. Oh, yeah, I do wash them.
Okay.
I do wash
you have those people who are like, I'm not going to watch this all season.
No. But baseball, baseball is just riddled with superstition.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was big time into baseball and playing baseball, I would do that. Like, if I was on a hitting streak, I wouldn't wash my uniform until I didn't get a hit that game, and then I would wash it. Yeah. No, I don't know. And it's so stupid. You really think about it. But the thing is, it's all about confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Whatever builds your confidence.
Whatever helps you get through that pitcher, whatever.
Yeah, and in this case, taking my time a little more builds my confidence the same way.
No, absolutely. I almost got bit, and for a hot second, I thought, oh, geez, I guess I did jinx this. But then I didn't get bit.
So you just jinxed me.
You're right. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to. But anyway, totally changing the subject. It's always been a little controversial when it comes to dog training, the school of positive reinforcement versus dog behavior.
Theory.
Yeah. So at the Little Red Dog, we obviously lean into dog behavior, but it's a combination. I use treats as motivation. But just to make things clear, people that are really into positive reinforcement, it really means food. It means right?
Reward.
And most people don't know that. I mean, people on our applications who want to adopt and they put positive reinforcement, to them it means no physical touch. We're not going
to put a prong collar on them.
We're not going to put any kind of equipment that might impede their functionality.
Yeah.
We're not going
even a martingale.
Yeah, even a martingale. And we're going to put the dog in a harness, and we're going to that aspect of it I have a strong disagreement with. However, I do not, to make things clear, I don't have a problem with anyone that uses treats as long as they know what they're doing. That's why I like you so much. You're one of the few people that uses treats, food.
I'm a treat piñata.
Yeah, you are a treat. Yeah, you really are. But one thing that I love I shouldn't say love. One thing that I've noticed, especially with people that put on their application, it's all about positive reinforcement, or people that currently have a dog and they say that they have positive reinforcement. They execute positive reinforcement, but they're currently having trouble with their dog. What I'm learning is these people have no idea what to do when the treat is offered, okay, but the dog's not doing what they want to do. So I ask these people, if you're using positive reinforcement and the dog is not doing what you want the dog to do, then what do you do? Right?
Yeah.
So when you run into this problem with this concept, what do you tell these people? Or what are you trying to get across to these people?
As a treat giver, I run into this problem.
Of course you do. That's why I want you to talk about it.
There's times where I'll run into dogs and they are not interested in my treat. Some behaviors that dogs do, they call it intrinsics. It's self-rewarding to itself. So if you have something that's self-rewarding that's beyond the value of what you're giving the dog, there's no way that they're going to give up what they're doing.
Right.
So that's why you have to know, for me personally, there's a time when you have to be able to execute the other side of it, the correction side of it. I tell people I put a fence on both sides, and if you go towards the front, you get your reward. If you go towards the back, you're going to get a correction. Dog will understand. He'll make that association pretty fast and not want that correction and want that reward, and will go the way I want him to.
Right.
But like you said, there's a lot of people who we meet that, it's almost like some don't even have the capacity to give a firm correction. And I don't want to say that they shouldn't have a dog, but they should definitely have a dog that's turnkey dog.
Which everybody wants a goddamn turnkey dog.
Yeah.
Even I want a turnkey dog.
So, you're not going to ever, you should never get a puppy. You're not going to be the one who's going to be able to give the dog structure. You have to be able to give a dog corrections. I show at almost every lesson I go out to. This video on YouTube. Experienced mama dog teaches 8-week-old puppies.
Great
and
video.
She's growling and snapping, and she's communicating that she's not breaking out treats. She's not telling good job. She's not ignoring their faults.
No.
She's telling them, you're doing wrong by my standards. I set boundaries, you've crossed them, and this is the repercussion for it.
Right.
So there has to be a repercussion when a dog decides, I'm not going to go by your rules.
Yeah, and the reason why I like that video so much is because the dog, the mom clearly shows teeth. Mm-hmm. You can hear her growling.
Low growling.
Yeah, and it's very intense.
Yes, it sounds very aggressive.
It actually will give you goose pimples.
Yeah.
Because, okay. The thing I love about it, though, she never has to carry through.
Yep.
Biting any of the puppies.
She doesn't ragdoll anybody.
No. So what's interesting to me about that video is it's the intimidation of something don't make me go to the next level.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like when your mom says your middle name. Things are starting to ramp up.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between my mom saying it and my dad saying it.
Yeah.
If I hear my dad's, even today, if I hear my dad say all three of my names, Stephen Ray McLean, like I know I've messed up.
Yeah.
But if my mom says it, it's harder for me to take her seriously because she's so sweet. But what does that tell you? That tells you I will take advantage of my mom because she's a soft talker. Exactly. So I think people don't understand sometimes that human beings are animals, dogs are animals. Every animal on this planet needs structure, or we're going to go south pretty quickly. So I'm finding it super difficult not to lose my temper with people that don't want to set the boundary of, hey, okay, you did it wrong. What are you going to do if the dog does it wrong?
Yeah.
And their attitude is, well, nothing. I'm just going to ignore it.
Yep.
Well, then how the hell do you think it's going to get better?
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely been lessons where I had to walk away from them telling them, look, I can see that you're resistant to this. I can only give you the tools that I know work.
Right.
If you want to use positive reinforcement, I'll give you the best tools I can.
Right.
I'll show you how to give a good, well-timed reward. I'll show you how to reinforce all this stuff. But you're leaving the second half of the fence off. So if the dog decides that I just want to roam out the back and not listen to you, there's not a lot I can do for you. Your dog is not going to follow boundaries that you've never set.
Right. Right. And I'm trying to figure out in what aspect of their lives, when I say there, I mean the humans that own the dog, where there is no repercussions for doing something wrong.
People,
I don't know, how can you even think that way?
I think that the personality type for that is that they're non-confrontive and they're just not leadership people. Yeah. There are people who, have jobs where they follow people, they do their steps, they get through their 25 years and they retire and everything's fine. They never had to buckle down on people.
Yeah.
So I think it's a personality type in the human that, you can probably see in other parts of their life.
Yeah. And I think you've hit it. I wasn't even wanting to go there, but I like your answer better. To be honest with you, I think that maybe that's the type of personality that just shouldn't have a dog. If you're not willing to show any type of leadership skills.
I think that you have to get the right dog. As I get older, I try to see everything in gray and not be black and white so much. So, what I think that you need to get an older dog who really is already set in their ways and their good ways. You take that, you can back that up with positive reinforcement and you do it. Not that you won't ever run into something.
Sure.
But your chances of success are a lot better. If you get a young dog or a dog with a power breed dog or someone that's going to, if you don't give them structure, go completely south, they're bound to fail.
Yeah, and I think one thing that cracks me up about people that don't want a senior dog, the reason why I get upset is because with that scenario is because here's a family that has this concept in their brain that no matter what dog I get, it's going to be this amazing relationship. Yeah. And what they don't understand is that's probably only true with a senior dog.
Yeah.
Because senior dogs are almost always chill, easygoing. They just want to hang with you.
Test at the least. They don't want to break out. If you're clear on what you want, they want to just give it to you and get the rewards.
But nobody wants a senior dog.
I know.
And I find it heartbreaking. I actually learned a lot from my son who adopted a senior dog because he does know what he's doing.
I think Sean's kind of an old soul.
He is. He's always, even when he was a little boy, he was, for those of you who don't know, I'm talking about my son, Sean McLean. He's always been super sensitive when he was little.
Deep thinker.
Always questioned authority. But what's weird about him, and I actually respect, unlike his father, is when he questions authority, it's not in a combative way. Oh. Which I've never...
I'm with you on that one. I've always questioned authority, but it's never come out in the right way.
It's like I will, especially when I was younger, I will mess you up.
Yeah.
If I But anyway, a little shout out to my son. Didn't mean for that to happen, but it happened anyway. Thanks for tuning in. When we come back, I will have our co-founder, PJ Rosh. I should probably say founder. I'm kind of the co-founder, because I was married to her.
You're the whipping boy and she's the founder. I am the whipping.
She is the founder. She holds the whip. All right, guys. Hey, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for the love of dog. Totally good news. New Road is back with their food. However, it's only treats. That's okay. We love the treats. You saw Gary try them months ago. Either way, it doesn't matter. They're great. They're terrific. Treats only. The promo code is REDDOG15, all caps. Type that in when you're ordering. You get a discount, plus we get a little bit of a donation. We love it. Please check it out. New Road. Thanks, everybody.
Doing your shuffle?
Doing my shuffle. Get this on camera. It's the Roscoe Shuffle. Flipping Sam.
Edited his out, I guess.
Totally messed up the cut there.
I don't think he messed it up.
He messed up. I'm telling you right now.
I think it might have been.
He did it on purpose.
I think it might have been purposeful. Yes,
I think it was
that's
purposeful.
Not messing up.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he's trying to tell me.
Messing up implies that it was a mistake.
Absolutely. But he's trying to tell me that he made a mistake.
Oh yeah, no, I think it was purposeful.
No,
but
too graphic.
Because I literally, for all of you that are listening, we had our adoption event here recently, and we're reenacting the Roscoe Shuffle, which is this awesome dance
for an awesome dog.
And so Sam was doing his version of the Roscoe Shuffle. Let me tell you, it was amazing, and I wanted the audience to see this, and we cut to him. And suddenly, it goes to a graphic.
Text to donate.
Instead of Sam. I'm like, come on, Sam.
I think there should have been like, if you donate this, you get to see Sam doing the Roscoe Shuffle.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss his version of
Absolutely.
it. Anyway.
So
hey, PJ. Sorry. Thanks for joining us.
For the podcast, For the Love of Dog.
For the Love of Dog. I'm Steve. We're PJ. Back.
We are back.
We are back.
It's funny.
Forgot what we were going to talk about.
No. Well, I know what we're going to talk about. It's funny because I thought we'd take a trip down memory lane.
Okay.
Because Mackenzie and I were talking about this just recently. Back in the day, it was just me.
It was just you.
And I was the one that would pull the dogs, go get the dogs, pick up the dogs from the vet, take them to boarding or foster or whatever.
Now, are you talking about even pre Little Red Dog or is this still
this
Little Red Dog?
Little Red Dog. So early days, probably like October, November. We started in October, so probably November.
Okay.
November. I'm trying to think. Maybe even December. It was probably December.
So in that time, I wasn't really helping you that much.
You weren't.
I was pretty much griping.
You never did any transporting. That's for sure.
I did one transport with you, which I think is an amazing story.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
We probably shouldn't talk about that because that'll piss a lot of people off.
This story that I was thinking of, because I was talking to Mackenzie the other day about it, and I said, I totally forgot that because one of the dogs that were one of our first rescues was Gilly, and that's your mom and dad adopted him.
That's our one listener.
And right, shout out to Nanny and Gilly. But what was funny about that is because I had nobody, and I went to pick them up, and I had plenty of time, and I tried to drive to San Bernardino to pick up the dogs. They were at the vet. And I would never do this now. Let me just say that. But I had Gilly, who's a small dog, like 10, 12 pounds, and then his buddy Shorty, which was probably about 25 pounds. I had them in two different crates in the back, and then I had two pitties, Chloe and Toby, which were really good pit bulls, very good dogs.
Toby was a great dog.
And so was Chloe. Chloe's the one
I don't remember Chloe.
Yeah, you do. The dark one.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You love her. The one that guy and his wife adopted, and then anyway, I'll tell you later.
Oh, that guy and his wife, yes.
We met them at Plums.
Oh, yeah, great
Chloe's
dog.
a great dog.
Great dog. Low rider.
Yes. Okay. And so, but she looked badass because she had the clipped ears and everything. She
looked like a badass.
So I went and picked him up at the vet. I had plenty of time to get home because I had a job interview on the phone, telephone interview. And so I got to the vet. They made me wait like an hour or more. I finally got the poor dogs out. They, all had to go to the bathroom. So I did all that, got everybody loaded up. I had Chloe just riding shotgun, Toby in the soft crate, which again, would never do that again.
So stupid. Yeah, soft crates are the worst.
And the little's in the back. And I'm driving down the 60 freeway to get back home. And I have no time. I have to get on this job interview, this phone interview. So I started interviewing for this job, and I did warn her. I said, "I'm so sorry. I am in a car with dogs. You might hear barking. I didn't anticipate this. This is, and she's, well, we can talk later." I'm like, no, we can talk now. So we start the interview, and halfway through the trip, Toby gets out of the crate, and now I've got two pitties that I don't know in the car, and I have no idea if they're going to start fighting or what is going to happen. They're going to go after the littles. I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen, and so I'm on the phone. I'm like, oh no! And the person who was interviewing me, who ended up being my boss, I did get the job. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking, should I pull over? But they were fine. They were both really good dogs. So they just he just didn't want to be in the crate anymore. So they just kind of coexisted. Again, if anybody did that today with any of our dogs, I would, fire. I would never use them again. I would tell them that was a ridiculous thing. I would never put up with that. So I can't even believe that I did that.
Sure, I was on a place. Well, but this.
But that's how bad things happen.
Yeah, but I'm I'm very amazed, not just by you with that story, because A, I would never do that. But B, I think that really says a lot, and we talk a lot about this in our rescue, a lot about the difference between men and women. As a guy, I would just be so focused on either one thing or the other. I'm only gonna do the job interview.
Well, I intended that, and I had plenty of time to go do this.
That's my point. See, if she gave you now, I would have taken it. Okay, that sounds good. But that's the difference. You're.
I was committed.
I don't know what the word is, but it seems like
insane. No, I was insane to be in that situation.
I just think women, they enjoy that. They have to have everything going on in their brain. They want to solve all these things.
I don't think that's true.
We can only focus on one thing.
I honestly felt...
Back me up on this, Sam.
I honestly felt obligated to move forward because we had tried to find a date for this interview, and this was really the only time that worked. I felt obligated because I had nobody to go get the dogs.
I can't believe... that also is a huge compliment to you, how talented you are in the... Because how did you not mess up that interview?
I don't know.
You got dogs... You said that could have been so bad.
It could have been so bad. And again, I would never do that again. And even Mackenzie goes, "You would never put up with somebody who did that." I said, I would never.
We would be livid.
But I couldn't be too upset or too hard on that person since I have learned by experience. So anyway, that was my memory lane.
Well, that's why you're so sincere, and I'm gonna get a lot. If you make me tell my story, the first time I helped you on a transport, we're gonna get a lot of hate mail.
No, it's not that bad.
It's kind of bad because this is really, it really didn't mean for this to happen. I think this is the fun thing about podcasts. The story I'm going to tell, and Peach is going to interrupt a lot. Which
I'm going to interject, not interrupt. Interject.
It's going to piss me off.
I'm going to keep the story right.
I think this is a story that if we go beyond Sam, it's okay if we go beyond time, because this is a good story. So the first time she talks me into going to help, we went to Devore, which...
in San Bernardino.
Yeah, which is a horrible place. Since I've been to a lot of animal shelters, Devore is clearly not the best. It's not the worst.
No. It was a new shelter, so it was a nice shelter. Just that the people are hard to work with.
They're hard to work with, and so
some of the people, because I do have some people there that I work with. That
I'll be super honest with you. I was just trying to be the good husband. I had no intentions at this point in time ever being part of the Little Red Dog.
It was noted.
For the people that don't know, PJ doesn't need me around. She's fine on her own. She's a very tough spirit. She's and ever since the war, she's a warrior. She really doesn't need my help. For whatever reason, did you ask me to help, or was I just being nice? It's hard for me to believe I was just being nice.
I think I had been going on transports. So this is really before we started the Little Red Dogs. I was doing transports for other rescues and networkers, and I'd been doing a bunch of them. And you said, "Oh, I thought we could spend some time together," and I said, "Hey, why don't you just come with me?"
But you were talking about starting.
Yes, anyway, we were.
Anyway, so you got me involved. So we hop in your car, and you hadn't had this car for very long. It's a nice car. It's a high-end car, and so I'm already pissed that we're taking your car to go get a dirty dog out of the shelter. Now, look, I'm talking right now as a person that was clueless about dog rescue, someone that I think I have a good heart, but it's not like at this point in time I wasn't all about dogs.
No.
So
you didn't get them.
Yeah, I didn't get them. I don't dislike them, but don't.
Right, you would never be mean to.
Yeah, I didn't need them. So off we go. I'm in an okay mood. We hop in the car. She tells me where Devore is. So now I'm already in a shitty mood because Devore is.
So I offered to take you home.
Yeah. So how far away are we? I mean, how far is Devore from our house?
It's an hour and a half.
So it's a long drive, right? So we hop in. I'm thinking we'll scoop up one dog. In my tiny brain, we're gonna scoop up one dog. Not gonna be a big deal. We get there, and the place is it's unorganized. It's dirty. Even though it's a new facility, it's in.
It's a shelter. I mean,
yeah, and it's in a very rural area.
Yeah, it's not in the best areas.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. I'm scared we didn't bring a gun. But anyway, so we get there, and we of course. The norm is when you ask for the dog, whatever, you're gonna have to wait.
Right.
And how long were we waiting? We're waiting a long ass time.
We waited probably between 30 and 45 minutes, which honestly, a lot of transporters who would be listening to this, they've waited a lot longer.
It's not that big a deal. But
because there really wasn't a line. We had like 6 dogs, I think we were picking up.
Right.
But so it was like they'd go get one and give it to you, and then go get one.
Yeah. So you're giving away part of the story because. Rookie Steve thinks we're going to get this dog in 5 minutes and we're going to go. And so after 10 minutes, I'm starting to get irritated. By 30 minutes, I'm really pissed. So out comes the one dog. I'm like, okay, fine. We can finally go home to hop this dog. And here's this mangly dog, matted and pus coming out of every orifice. And it just is not a pretty sight. And we get this dog, and I'm thinking we can pack up, we can go home, we can get home for dinner, maybe have some drinks. I'm like, I'm so excited. And she's like, no, Steve, we have to wait for how many more dogs?
I think we had 6 that day total.
Yeah, and I'm like, son of a bitch, 6 more dogs? How are we going to fit these dogs
The crates didn't give it away, because I did have crates with me.
No, I wasn't.
And I had the seats down.
I'm an idiot. Wasn't paying attention. All right, so I'm gonna make this story a little quicker. So 5 or 6 dogs.
We load them up.
We're
about halfway.
Well,
half an hour.
Well, yeah, we're half an hour into it, and the first problem was I smell something horrible.
Yes.
Right. So now we know a dog has pooped in the car. In the crate. And there's there's not a lot of places to pull over. We find a place to pull over, and there's not any water hoses.
Nope.
On the side of the road.
But we did.
You can rinse out the car.
I had lined
and the dog.
I had lined them. I had a towel or something in there. So
yeah, you had some towels.
I felt really bad because we did this. We pulled over in this off ramp, and it looked like everybody did the same thing we did because it literally looked like a junkyard.
Yeah,
like there was so much trash all over.
I forgot about that.
And so I take it out and I kind of ball up the towel, and you're like, just throw it away. And I'm like, no, I can't. But then I was thinking, we're going to be in the car for like another 3 hours. So, so we did leave it, and I felt really bad about that.
She did. Let me tell.
I still feel bad about it.
She told me how frustrated we were. So now I'm really pissed, and all the goodness that I was trying to accomplish on this stupid ass trip is now dissipated from my tiny brain, and I'm in a horrible mood. I'm hungry, and we're not even anywhere near home.
And we still have to deliver all the dogs.
And we have to deliver all the dogs, and so we drove another half an hour, I'd say. Before you get the phone call?
Yeah.
Okay, another half an hour. So we're an hour away from.
I don't know if we were an hour away, but
we're close to an hour away.
Okay, fine.
At least 45 minutes. At least 45 minutes. And when you get a phone call, and I can hear her talking, and all I can kind of interpret from this phone call, I hear something. You forgot a dog.
No, they actually gave me the wrong dog.
That's right.
The shelter gave us the wrong dog.
So what was the dog's name?
I have no idea.
Let's just say the dog's name was Sherwin. So we left Sherwin at the shelter. So and
they gave
us
this dog that no one had claimed.
So here's what I'm about to say, and I did say it. I have to own it. When I say it, I'm going to get a lot of hate mail. But they
only have 5 listeners, so it's okay.
So even Nanny's going to be mad at me. So I said, Sherman's just going to have to die. Because I am not going back to the goddamn shelter and waiting another flipping half an hour to get this goddamn matted dog.
Luckily, I was driving, right?
Oh, no, I was driving.
I don't remember.
And we went up another 10 miles, arguing for 10 miles.
We were always going to go back.
Like big time, and I know we're going back.
That's the thing about Steve, is that he just has to yell about it. He's already resolved, but he has to yell about it.
So yelling, screaming, spit flying everywhere. Fire.
So we turn around.
We flip it. Of course we turn around.
But now I'm worried about this dog that they gave us erroneously, because I'm like, well, I don't want to take. We've already exited him. We don't want to take him back. So I'm on the phone with the networkers and saying, you got to find somebody for Sherwin lookalike.
Sherwin's buddy.
So we were able to keep him. We did not take him back to the shelter. We were able to exit Sherwin out of there.
You got Sherwin out.
And everybody got their dogs, and everybody lived, and Steve got his dinner, so it was all good.
Yeah, it was cold. It was a cold goddamn dinner. Shitty drinks. No, so I'm ashamed of myself. Because I literally said that. I literally said, Sherwin's just going to have to die. We're not going back.
We were never going to let Sherwin die. Steve says that, but he's the first one that once he meets the dog, there's no way he's going to give the dog back or not get the dog. So for the 5 listeners out there who might want to comment on there.
Yeah, it was a good ending. But it was definitely an eye opener for me. And it was kind of set the stage for how shelters treat the whole situation.
Well, how we realize that. And also, anyway. I think it just helped us set up protocols. We know so much more now, and which is why we would never put up with what I did. So anyway.
No.
You know what? The lesson learned, though, is that we no longer transport dogs. We pay people to transport dogs because they are much better than we are. So anyway.
And we use different cars now, too. We actually have the Honda, the dog car.
We do have a dog car.
We have to do it.
So
we still do it every once in a while.
Yeah. Use the dog car.
All right. Well, we ended the session, the show on a good note.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks, Nanny. Don't email me a bad review, Nanny. Love you.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. See you next week. Oh, Gary's here.
Does Gary do that too?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think it's probably hard not to do it.